Hello and welcome back to the second last video in our brushes series. So what I'm going to show you today is how to prep a gel brush and also tell you a little bit about gel brushes. So number one thing about brushes is never touch product on the brush with your bare hands or put it in your mouth. I've been to instructors seminars and demos where they put the brush in their mouth and touch it with their bare hands. No, don't do that. You will get overexposure from touching uncured product, which will then cause you to get allergies. And once you have allergies, you cannot cure it. You'll be allergic to your product forever. And that way, you won't be able to work in the industry without lots of pain and discomfort. That's something we do not want, is to end our career over something that can be prevented. Okay. So prepping a gel brush is much easier than prepping an acrylic brush. All you need is your new brush. You just break the bristle, well, you just push the bristles little like this to the side. These brushes are synthetic, so they don't come with the same film that Kolinsky natural hair brushes come with. So they won't have that white residue, but just to break the mold a bit, make them a bit softer, you do that, but never like this. That will fray the hairs. Then what you do is you dip it in some gel. You load your brush with that gel. And you place it in the cap. And you wipe it. Now, normally, if you are using a good quality gel, this will only help you to prep the brush. Okay, you need to know what's in your products. If you are using a solvent-free product, you can just cap your brush now. Okay, so you'll just cap it. But if you are using a solvent-based gel, you have to clean that gel off your lid and off of your brush, because solvent-based products cure in the air. So even if it's in the cap, it will still cure. Good quality gels such as Light Elegance won't do this as they are solvent-free. So you need to know the ingredients in your gel. So you can cap it, keep it out of light so that it doesn't cure. And that's how you prep it. So a little bit about gel brushes is that most of them are synthetic, which makes it, easy to clean and not absorbent. So you can easily float the product without the product absorbing into the brush. Okay. So that's why most people use synthetic brushes for gel, because with Kolinsky, you want to absorb the liquid of the acrylic. So that's why acrylic brushes are made from natural hairs, because it's very absorbent. Then on the other hand, you get different shapes. You get square and you get round and oval, which all look like this, and you get different sizes. So the bigger one is number 8, number 6, so they're all different sizes. And then this one is a number 4. So you can see the smaller the number, the smaller the brush. So this is oval, round, and square as the shapes. Now with the application with gel brushes, what I suggest is when you pick up gel, is that you don't just dip it in. You don't just go and get a blob. You lift it out the jar like this, and you see it will come with a string. You tap that string off before you move on to the nail. So now it's on one side, and you can start. So on one side of the brush, you can see that's where all the product is, and now you can start sculpting with that product on the brush. Always take more than what you think you need, because with gel it's better to have too much than too little. And then with your pressure, some gels require you to float the product, so you never actually touch. So you'll never actually touch the nail. Or what you'll do is you'll float the product. Some base coats require you to really push in to the nail and apply pressure, and then some products such as color, for example, I'll show you, they require a certain angle of the brush. So if we take this tip here, and a color, can see. So with the color, don't get a glob. Just put in like, almost like you're getting a bead of acrylic. You get a little so that it's only on the one side, and the same thing with that tail. You break it off, you break the tail off. As you can see, there's only product on one side of my brush. And then you'll come in, you'll put your product down, and at a 45-degree angle, you will paint with a very light, only using the tip pressure. Okay. What happens if you use too much pressure is it takes all that gel off, and that's not what you want. You want your gel to be on and even, so use the same light pressure, that same 45-degree angle, so that it will be perfect. Okay, so then what you'll do to clean your brush is you use a dry wipe again, and you just wipe your brush. It's that simple. Wipe your brush. And it's as good as new. No need for alcohol or anything like that. But what I do suggest is having a brush for your colors, one for your glitters, and one for your builders and covers, so that you do not mix them together. Because you can't use a brush that has glitters in it on your clears, because then your clears won't be as clear as you'd want it to be. So I highly recommend that. And then also remember with a brush is that if your brush is ever really, really bad, you can put it in some boiling water and then follow the steps in the video on how to save your brush, how to save your gel brush, and then you can follow the steps to try and save it. Don't want to save this brush because it's really nice for ombres and things like that, but just if you do have a brush that ends up like this, putting it in boiling water for a couple of minutes and then following the how to save your brush, your gel brush video, you'll get it back in tip-top condition.